So this is the first video I've ever done of a car that's not mine, and I'm proud to be doing it because it's my girlfriend's favorite cousin's car. Here it is. He'll hopefully appear in a few minutes. 1995 Ford Bronco. He's old. So this is Trent, my girlfriend's cousin's truck in all its glory. He has taken such good care of this. I'm super impressed. Look at that shine. All original. 30 years old now. Over. 1995. He's owned it from new. The coolest thing, for those of you who've watched The Goonies, is it The Goonies? Goonies? Oh, I can't remember. I'm blanking now on the movie. There's a movie with these privileged teens who go off to the lake for the weekend and they're driving a Ford Bronco and bad things happen. I'll try and remember, but if anyone watching this does remember, send in a comment. But the coolest thing, for those of you who watch that movie I can't remember, is the top comes off.
Oh yeah! The Step Fighters coming back to Great Harbor! Deck the halls, fly my Great Falls! Wipe my ass and lick my balls! It's Stepper time, baby!
Bronco. Ford Bronco.
For a little bit of history, the first Bronco, the first generation, was introduced in 1965 in an attempt by Ford to meet its competitors, mostly International Harvester and a few things from Chevy, in primarily the off-road segment. So this would be considered a compact SUV today, but for the time it was pretty big, and it was mainly built for off-road. It was very bare bones and had low gearing and was good for going up mountains basically. And this is also the generation, this first gen, that was built all the way through 1977 with very few changes, that's become super expensive now. You could pay 20, 30, even more thousand for a good example. And when people, I don't know what it is, I guess it's the looks. It's very cool looking. The top comes off. It also defines an era. It was one of the first SUVs. And a lot of them rusted away, so there aren't a whole lot of them anymore, even though Ford sold a gazillion of them at the time. So this car, Trent's car, the one we're looking at, was really part of a whole generation that started in 1978. There were 5 generations in there, starting in 1978. They're all basically built on the Ford F-150 frame, and purists are going to kill me, but the second through the 5th generations aren't all that different. They were built on the same drivetrain for the most part. The engines changed over time, and the opulence level, I guess you could call it, changed. They increasingly became more luxurious and started to define what we consider the modern SUV. A truck that drove more like a car with a lot of the conveniences, things like air conditioning. This car that we're looking at, Trent's, is technically a 5th generation, which was the last generation of the Bronco, not counting the Bronco 2, which is sort of infamous or famous or I don't know what, but it was a completely different model, much smaller, and something we'll not talk about here much. Bronco's famous, obviously, for the O.J. Simpson chase. That car itself is in a museum in Tennessee now, and despite all those generations, Trent's Bronco isn't all that different than the original that came out in 1978. Hello. How many miles does that have?
144,000.
Oh.
So
this is Trent.
hello.
Sarah's in the back. Oh, you're videoing our video?
No, I just getting
Off for a little ride. You bought this brand new, yeah?
Yeah, I bought it in 1996. It had 10,000 miles on it. I was told that a rancher's wife had it, and she about rolled it over because it's, top heavy.
Oh.
It scared her to death, so she brought it back to the dealership with only about 10,000 miles on it, and then I bought it.
That didn't scare you from buying it?
No, it didn't scare me from buying it because I know. So,
yeah.
So it had about 10,000 on it. This was my daily driver. I mean, I drove it everywhere. Up till last year, I was driving and pulling the trailer with the lawnmower to Cherryville. I mean,
you were using it for everything?
Yeah, I was using it for everything. I definitely get it out or drive it long distances. To people like seeing it too. I mean, I go to the places I go, they're like,
thumbs up.
oh yeah.
there are many of these out.
Yeah, everybody calls
They're all rusty.
everybody calls it the OJ Mobile, you know.
Oh, no.
The OJ Simpson white, whatever.
Yeah, at least you don't have the white one.
Yeah.
Did you ever take the top off?
I've never had the top off.
Ever?
Never.
Oh.
No, I've never had the top off. And I thought about it once or twice, but then I read stories about, people putting them back on and they leak and whatever, and I was like, I do not want any leaks.
Oh, wow.
But everybody goes, oh, the rubber seals are fine, deep into it.
What kind of mileage does it get?
Actually gets about 17.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, it's not bad at all. There's times it'll, when the wind's really bad, it's very bad.
Oh.
Because it's it's a big square, so
Yeah, right.
if you got a side wind or a headwind, you're going down. But it's got the throttle body fuel injection on top, so it's I could have done some things to soup it up, but I'm a stock person. I like stock stuff.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Keep it original.
Yeah, the designers designed it to look, and not against anybody that does the modifications and stuff. I mean, I like some of that stuff too.
Some of it's cool, yeah.
Just like radio. I like factory radio. I don't know why, but
yeah,
I've looked at
most
replacing
people
that
rip
radio.
those out,
right, because the DV or the disc is not working.
Oh.
And so I've thought about it, but anytime I go in and look at a thing, they're all fancy and got all this little, and I hate
doesn't
that.
fit. Yeah.
Yes, I hate that. I want simple, to the point. So, but
if you're in the market for one of these, the main thing is these weren't baby. These were, for the most part, work trucks. They've considered junk for a long time, so people didn't keep them up. If you're from a place like I am, Minnesota, they've almost all rusted out. So look for rust. This is a Kansas car. They don't get much snow here. No salt on the road. Perfect body. If you have the means or happen to be lucky, buy a car from someplace like this, from the South, from California. There's still deals out there, but the prices have gone up a lot. I mean, you could expect to pay probably $10,000 for a nice example truck like this. Maybe more. I don't know. I've been watching the Craigslist ads. I don't like to pay shipping though, and all the ones I've seen around me, rust. So this is a cool car.
Very interesting. You couldn't have.
So, viewers, one final note before I leave you. It's been almost 25 years since the last Bronco of the kind we're looking at here rolled off the assembly line. And in 2017, Ford announced to all its patient Bronco fans that a new Bronco was on the way. It's due apparently in 2020. There have been a lot of rumors, some sort of facts. But the exciting thing is it does sound like the new Wrangler will have a removable roof. Yay! It's unclear whether there will be a two-door, although rumor has it that there will. And it's still unclear whether there will be a stick shift. And the looks haven't been unveiled except for some really disguised versions.